Salutations, my soap opera fans. So, yes, question of the night. How bad would the consequences be, Carly, when the family finds out? Carly has a history of practically keeping children away from their parents. And I'm just trying to answer this real quick. The Havlin's in the chat. Was good. How you doing tonight? Blackmon is in the chat. Was good. How's everyone doing tonight? One of my favorites, Mel, is in the chat. How's everything going? Makai was good. Wow. The great Miss Nikisha Moore is in the chat. How's everything going? Dolly's in the chat. Was good. Why is this? Okay. How's everyone doing tonight? So yeah, I'm doing pretty good, Blackmon. Thank you for asking. Um, Ron is in the chat. Was good. As I expect you would, Mel. It's funny. I looked at it. I looked at it briefly. I don't understand how Billy was hanging out at the door 1 minute, and then in the next, well, it's kind of dark outside. Oh wow, Sonny's in the chat. How you doing tonight, Sonny? It's great seeing you. I know you can only stay for a little bit, but it's really good seeing you again. Monique is in the chat. Monique said I had a conversation in my head as if I were Carly, and everyone I said my yeah. Yeah, exactly, Monique. She is sticking to that story. She is sticking to that story. Hi, Dad. Everyone, let's say hi to my dad, Albert Bostic, because I'm a junior. Now Dolly says I'm doing good. How are you liking these? Oh, it's great, Dolly. This dude is in full desperate mode, and I love it. I'm sitting there thinking, has this man never had a girlfriend before? Nikki says Carly was really still expecting Drew to. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm like, you're not dealing with Jason. You're not dealing with Jason. Ron is in the chat. Ron says I'm still celebrating you. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Steffi was losing it. Sonny says, okay, family has been keeping me busy. Okay. Hope that's keeping you busy in a good way, Sonny. But it's really great seeing you again though. It's been a hot minute. So it's good seeing you again. Dolly says Lee is so over the top. I'm like, exactly. It's so desperate and so clingy. It's like I don't want to be crude or anything like that, so I'm trying not to say any of my usual crude things. I'm like, bro, relax. Eagle Fang says question, hey bud, question, and you should be to on your channel, which ooh. Hmm. I like the idea of putting the first two up there, Carly or Nina. I like that. Thank you. Thank you, Eagle Fang. And how you been? Davlin says Shauna's in the chat. What's good, Shauna? Okay, good. Freddie's in the chat. Was good. Of course, Freddie. It was a good idea. It's a good idea. I don't mind sitting there, doing requests and stuff like that. It was a good idea. So, um, no, I'm glad it's in a good way because I'm not gonna lie, I'm just saying you though. Just saying in the chat, Sonia. Monique says Carly did the same thing with AJ concerning my. Yeah, exactly. It's always back to I was protecting the family. Like Kyrese is in the chat. What's good, Kyrese? Ron says, and would have been a twist if Sheila were to report the police for faking. Yeah, but then she wouldn't have any leverage down. So I understand your thinking, Ron. I do. Karen says Nina is giving Carly some credibility with her keeping the secret with Nina's antics. Yeah, yeah, she is. She is. I mean, granted, it's still no excuse, but Nina, of course, came across as super entitled, like usual, just being a complete whack job. Dolly says Carly always says it's for the benefit of some children or some child when she gets caught. Yeah, yeah, she's done that so many times. It's gotten to a point where it's just like it's not even funny anymore. I mean, granted, it's never been funny, but still. Mel says, "I can't believe Eric and Nicole are being cold-hearted to each other." Well, the thing is, Eric didn't want to talk to Nicole, and Nicole kept insisting on being in his face. So I'm like, what you're gonna get is what you're gonna get today. So I don't blame Eric for going off on Nicole because he didn't even want to talk to her in the first place. Now Shauna says Lily has lost her mind. Why has Lily lost her mind for? Comments in the chat. How many people finally know what AJ was talking about? What do you mean AJ? Guy says Josh and Michael are so disrespectful when speaking to their elders. I can't stand to see them on screen. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Nate is in the chat. What's good, Nate? Yeah, I can't stand when. I mean, it's not so much as the elders part. It's particularly she doesn't have room to sit there and talk bad to Sunny, and she's barely lived. Yeah, Sonia, it was a tough death, but my heart goes out to the family. Shauna says, "I'm glad Devon's taking his company back." Yeah, he should have never. He should have never. Um, he even admitted he should have never did that in the first place. But you know what? Now Eagle Fang says, "I felt sorry for." They're gonna no. Eagle Fang, they're supposed to do something in March. They're supposed to do something in March. Okay, I read about that. They're supposed to do something in March because yeah, I understand. A little 30-second, 40-second, little tribute is not much. So no, trust me, I get it. They're gonna do something. They are Eagle Fang. Honey says I had a good sense to reach Fashion Mama Mississippi whooping. Ooh, what is a Mississippi whooping? I want to. Well, please share with the classroom. I want to know. Inquiring moms want to know. Ron says everyone was celebrating Sheila's arrest. Now I'm going to be crying about it. Yeah, Taylor was extremely happy. Now I feel like she's going to jump into. I feel like she's going to do that. She's gonna try to turn herself in. Dolly says, "I love Eric and Nicole." Going, hmm. That's a very good point, darling. That's a very good point. But again, Nicole asked for it, so I don't feel bad for her. Amy is in the chat. How you doing tonight, Amy? Thank you for joining. It's great to see you. Kama says they finally know what age I was talking about. AJ was always in the way. I felt like. Hmm. Makai says I'm Team Devon. Get your company back. Yeah, should have never sold it in the first place, or never really did that. Yeah, no, Eagle Fang, they're gonna do that. They're gonna do that, Eagle Fang. Because I'm not gonna lie, when I saw that, here's the thing, Eagle Fang, I said the same thing when I saw Days, and he did that little 30-second clip, but people were saying that they were gonna do more. So you'll see something. We'll see something. We'll see something, Eagle Fang. Shauna says Sonny and Nina violated Brit's privacy. Yeah, they did it, and they did it unapologetically too. Eagle Fang says I like the Sasha and Chase conversation. Okay. Karen says I want Sasha with Chase. Brooklyn can kick rocks. Kyrie says Nina was very out of line. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I really do. I was like, yo, this chick done lost her mind. AJ is in the chat. AJ actually is a member. My God, thank you, AJ. Thank you so much for being a member, AJ. Jessica is in the chat. What's good? I see. I got. Once I saw the icon, I saw that. Thank you, AJ. Thank you so much. We're gonna have a lot of fun in the as far as being members. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So thank you for joining. Angelique is in the chat. What's good, Angelique? Angelique is killing it with her reviews on her General Hospital. So definitely support her channel, aka the Cat Lady. How many cats do you actually have? I'm very curious about that. Now Jessica says Nina pissed me off so much today. I was yeah Jessica. She lost her mind. Shauna says BLQ quick chase and chase. Yeah. I just got that. Monique says Devon only did it because it was yeah exactly Monique. He even said he was like I should have went with my first my first instincts. And AJ says today GH made me want to punch the air. Any particular reason why? I know it was kind of an emotional episode somewhat. Only have 3 indoor cats, moved out 14 outdoor cats. Okay. Hmm. You know, I gotta ask you a question about that, Angelique. Are you ever worried though, like as far as like getting any sort of like fleas or whatever on your cats? Like on your indoor cats? Because you had a bunch of outdoor cats and everything like that. So you ever worried about that? And do your outdoor cats interact with the indoor cats? Like how does that work? I'm very curious about that. Shauna says Lily compared Devon to Nathan. Yeah, I was like, wow. When I heard that, I was like, Shauna, I was like, yo, this chick done lost her mind. Mel says it was a slap in the face to see Bill. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I mean, you know what? Here's the thing. Um, Bill's that man. You know, he's that man that gets things done. I guess for me personally, I love the plotting and scheming. I love the plotting and scheming, and I'm late to the game. So AJ said Carly got told by Drew about her lies. She deserved to get kicked to the curb. Yeah. AJ, I'm like, yo, listen, he ain't Jason. Okay? Maybe Jason might have put up with that crap, but he ain't Jason. Ron says Jack and Diane will be sorry for going after Nikki. Why? Because of the great Victor Newman? Curry says, as much as I can't stand, Yeah, I didn't understand that. I really didn't. Kenye's in the chat. What's good, Kenye? Yep, exactly. Kenny. This is what I was saying in the chat. I'm like, yo, he's not Jason. I forgot what I was saying before. Now, Eager Fang says Cody and BLQ are family. Well, they're not blood family. So, just saying, they're not blood family. But yeah, no, I will say this much. I did feel like Willow was getting out of line. You know, she came downstairs running and being all like, "Get away from my son!" This, that, and the third. I'm like, you do realize that you are scaring Wiley at this point, right? Like you're doing way too much. Like, okay, you had a bad dream, and that's your reaction. And it's crazy because it's one of those things where it's like I normally wouldn't sit there and defend Nina, and I still don't because of the way that she came in there and she started judging Michael, which I don't even understand how she got to that point. But I'm like, really? Like, I just that whole part was just a giant mess. Just a giant mess. Oh, Angelique GH had Willow and Nina doing too much into say Denver. Yeah, exactly. Angelique, you might have wrote it, but and I might have missed it. But are you ever like worried about like any sort of like I don't know, I guess cross contaminations between the cats and stuff, or because like for me personally, I tend to overthink everything. You know, like I have no problem like feeding the cat and stuff like that, like outside. But I'm not going near it and petting it because I don't know if that cat has fleas, and then my cat would have fleas, and that's just a situation that I don't want to sit there and be in. Shauna says, "How many times did Devon go to Lily and she dismissed him?" Then she said, "Her and Jill, the majority." Yeah, I didn't get that. I agree with that. That's why I was like, "Yo, listen, get your company back." Ron says, "I feel really bad for Tucker, but he should have thought about what." Yeah, but that is, honestly, to tell you the truth, Ron, that is Tucker though. That's Tucker. So eventually, honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm glad they didn't drag it out. Karen says, "I wish Nina would go back to Nixon wasn't stay." Um, Shauna says that was a rush. No, Shauna, there's going to actually be in March. There's going to be a tribute for Epiphany, aka Sonia Eddies, in March. Because trust me, I looked at that too, and then I read it. So Angelique says I did write it, but no, I treat everyone. Oh, Ichi. Okay, all right. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about Cat Lady. Yep, Cat Lady in March. Um, Mel says Bill is going to lose Leah. Yeah, he will. But here's the thing: he knows he's going to lose them. He just hopes that the payoff with Sheila is going to outweigh whatever he loses. Shauna says Victor getting ready to plot against Adam. Yep. Here's the thing: there's a certain level of disrespect that you're going to sit there and give to your parents before your parents just had enough. And with Victor, he's not like just any sort of parent. So he's not just going to sit there and start yelling or lecturing and stuff like that. No, he's Victor Newman, okay? So he's going to sit there and literally humble him in the way where he's like, you need to hit rock bottom, and then you start appreciating your family more. That's Victor's way of parenting his children, which is like pretty messed up. But also, we got 34 people in the chat. We got 10 likes. So if you are enjoying the stream, hit the like button. It really does help me out. Um, Jonathan is in the chat. What's good, Jonathan? Ron says if Sheila has any common sense, she should report. Well, why would she? But Ron, if she reports Steffi, then she loses her leverage. So why would she do that for? Shauna says, why Nikki uphold Victor? She knows he's wrong. Hey, you know what? Sometimes you gotta sit there and support your husband. Can't have a house divided. Cat lady says Victor needs to have poor Adam alone. You mean needs to leave him alone? Freddie says Nina reads aka crazy lifetime movie after Willow's nightmare taking. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna. Part of that was kind of. Well, I don't want to sit there and say it was funny, but the way that Michael gave Nina their daughter was kind of funny for some odd reason. AJ says Willow's nightmare was a mess. It was. Cameron says, do you have a notice that the same thing to deal with now in the dream they were both wearing black. Cat Lady says when Nina said we'll name her. Oh wow. Yeah, I didn't. For some odd reason, I didn't hear that part. But of course, I was watching it on YouTube because the site that I normally watch it on, they haven't been showing GH on that site. And I don't want to sit there and say it on the chat, but everyone knows what I'm talking about. So now it's like either I watch it on YouTube or I wait till 8 o'clock to sit there and watch it on Hulu. Everyone says, to be honest, Alex and Stephanie do have chemistry, but he is too insecure about Chad. Yeah, yeah. Like I bit my tongue. Paul says Victor keep asking Chelsea what's wrong. I mean, eventually he will. Colin says the wolf went black, the mother and daughter, and what? I don't understand what you're saying. I'm not trying to be rude. I generally don't understand what you're saying. Um, Curry says, and the look on Michael's face when Wiley went to Nina was, oh damn. You saw that, right? Curry's just like he literally sit there and try to grab him, but Wiley was just too fast. Wiley was like, nah, I want to sit there and see grandma. Johnson says, interesting for Willow to have such a nightmare about Nina before she. Yeah, kind of weird timing, right, Jonathan? Jonathan says it's not Victor's business because he will use it against her. Hmm. Yeah, maybe, but it doesn't hurt to sit there and ask. I mean, it's up to her. It's like Adam said, it's up to her to sit there and decide if she wants to tell him. But I guess because he's the patriarch of the family. He wants to sit there and know everything, can control everything, and else is Adam's perspective, Chelsea, and yeah, no, I read that. I mean, I remember when you said that. And Colin says they're wearing black because it shows that they're mother and daughter. That Willow is the mother and the Willow of our sister, but they weren't wearing black though. Willow was wearing white. I don't even remember what color Nina was wearing. And I said, so what will Sheila do with this information now that she knows that Taylor shot Dollar Bill? If she's smart, she'll do nothing. Seriously, if she's smart, she'll do nothing. I mean, yeah, she'll sit there and tease Taylor with it, and Steffi, but that's pretty much about it. No such chance had every right to go. Yeah, I did not. I 100% agree with that. And it's really funny the way that Abby was sitting there looking at Chance and Sean and Sharon, like she was jealous. I was like, yo, you're not jealous, are you? Because you have no right to be jealous, right? Like you literally have no right to be jealous. Johnson says Nicole's not going to be happy when she learns that Kristen moved back into the mansion. Hmm, that's right. But unfortunately, Kristen blackmailed EJ. I can't actually believe that I can't believe that I was able to actually put out all 4 reviews today. And I'm still waiting. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. That's why I love having days off. Cameron says they're making dollar bill cake. Um, Shauna says Chance getting on my nerves. You act cool. Now you're mad. Move out, Abby. I will agree with that. Abby does need to move out. I don't understand. And I said this in my review. I don't understand people always saying that they're together for the kids. Like the kids are just not going to understand tension and not going to sit there and follow their parents in their footsteps when it comes towards their relationships. It's something that just Anna is in the chat. What's good, Anna? Anna, I always appreciate when you're here, regardless of when you get here. I appreciate it. Freddie says when Drew asked the $1 million question to Carly, yeah, she was like, yo, I wasn't going to say anything. And of course, this was out of spite. This is out of spite. Ron says, Albert, you mean to say that Sheila won't? Why would she blab to the? But Ron, why would she blab to the police? The whole reason why she got out is because Bill was able to sit there and blackmail um Steffi and Finn. So why would she give up her leverage? That would literally not make any sense. AJ says new Carly wouldn't tell Willow the truth because of it. Yeah. Oh, okay. Talking to somebody else. But it's good to see you, Anna. Tony D is in the chat. What's good? Um, Kai Wen, I don't know who Anthony Dollar Bill Girl is. Um, Johnson says, I'm guessing Friday is when Nina finds out that. Yeah, yeah, unfortunately. But I will sit there and say it's finally getting good. Johnson is it's finally getting good. I'm happy about that. Kyrie says, but I really hope this leads to a fist fight between Carly and Nina. I'm glad you said fist fight, not cat fight. Mel says Chance does not want Abby to move out because of Dominic. Yeah, I mean I know that, but I'm tired of people using their kids as some sort of excuse to stay together when the best thing for them to do is literally separate. Now Karen says I wonder what Michael's reaction is going to be. Oh, it's going to be bad. I hope that Michael gives Carly the same smoke that he's giving Sonny, but I doubt it. Mel says it says that Carter has some information on Sheila to Brooke and Taylor. What, like a spoiler or something? And it says on standby tonight. Okay. Well, Anna, I always appreciate even when you're just listening in. It's always great to sit there and see you and see the A icon and stuff like that. So I appreciate you being here and I appreciate you listening. So thank you so much. Um, Shauna says I bet Sheila won't be able to stay away from Deacon. That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting. That's gonna be interesting. Monique says I can't see Nina responds. Oh, I can't wait to see Nina responds when they tell her that she is the only option to save Willow. I hope she says, "Oh, now you want me to?" Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ron says, "All I care right now is that my girl Sheila is here to stay and not going." Ron is a Sheila fan, ladies and gentlemen, in case you couldn't tell. But I'm a Sheila fan too. So, but I'm a Sheila fan too. So, Cat Lady says, "All right, Al, I feel like Carly won't really have much smoke from this. I don't know why. I just, yeah, well, you know what? You're right. You're right, Cat Lady. It's always good to keep your expectations low. This is something that I noticed. It's always good to keep your expectations low. This way, you won't be disappointed too much. Let's just be real." Mel says it was so sick to see Bill bringing Sheila home, and Mel, it was even more sicker when she actually had blood in her mouth. That was pretty sick. That was sick. The Happen says so. All of this with Carly and Crazy Nina is going to lead up to a big cat. I was waiting for somebody to say cat fight. I was waiting for somebody to say cat fight. Shauna says she won't even go visit Mike. Yeah, exactly. I was like, Shauna, Mike was like, well, at least I have good fond memories of you during the good old days. I'm like, So what you're basically saying is that you're going to have some research material for from her while you spend your days. And I'm not going to lie, Mike is like the ultimate simp. And I said this, and I don't know if anybody's a bigger simp than Mike. Ron says, Abigail, you and I are the only on the same page when it comes to Sheila. Kimberly Brown is, yeah, I agree. I agree, Ron. I do. She's been on the show for a hot minute. She's been killing it. And even after all those years, chick still looks kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie. No, says you see Mike tried to kid. Oh yeah, that was funny. That was funny. I was like, wow, you can even sit there and give him a kiss? Like really? My dude literally is going to actually even have more jail time. You can even bother to give this dude a kiss. And Tony D says Nina is the most entitled woman ever. What she said to Mike was so out of line. Yeah, I agree with that. Spiderquake is in the chat. What's good, Spiderquake? Oh, you did? Okay, cool. I know it's kind of weird, Spiderquake, as far as because like it was just so weird though. Because here's the thing, Spiderquake. I can tell you what I didn't say, and so it just leaves like unidentified object or unidentified flying object. That's literally what it was. But thank you for watching, Spiderquake. Because I know it was kind of outside the norm for what I normally put out. Which reminds me, I actually got to put out a video tonight. Yeah, Jonathan, I actually saw three a couple of nights ago. And I talked about this in the chat last time, but yeah, it was actually pretty crazy. Um, I don't even remember why I didn't film it though. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with my memory. I know I went outside for a little bit and it was really cold. It was cold, Ron. But I'm not gonna lie, Ron. When I went back inside, I just had this very creep factor. Like something would just creep me out the minute that I closed those doors. And yet, I went to sleep like a baby. So fun times. But yeah, Jonathan, I actually put out my video today. Now Ron says, and Kimberly Brown will get her Emmy. And she better get an Emmy. She's been on that show for like years. Carolyn says, watching soap operas 19 years now. Oh, 20. Oh, wow. Okay. Carolyn, you've been watching it as long as me. You've been watching it almost as long as me. Because I started One Life to Live in 1998. Excuse me. But then, of course, GH was my longest. So I like saving challenges is in the chat. Was good. Thank you for joining. I like saving challenges. Do you have like a nickname that I could sit there and call you? I mean, unless you want me to just keep calling you I like saving challenges. If you have like a name or a nickname or something that you like to be called. Because as Dolly, I'm pretty good with nicknames and by being pretty Gloria, okay. All right. Thank you for joining, Gloria. How are you doing tonight? Thank you for joining. AJ says Carly versus Nina part. Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Now, AJ, you are a Nina fan now, right? You're a Nina fan or a Carly fan? I'm pretty sure you're a Nina fan, right? Kyron says I've been watching is an '07, just a hostile story. You mean hostile story? Is that what you mean to say? Johnson says I like to see Sheila cross back over YNR because, yeah, I'm there for it as well. Billy says, yeah, Abra is the king. uh, I love having my favorites in the chat. And of course, you're one of them, Dolly, as well as my members. So thank you again for being members. Oh, you're neither? Okay. Okay, cool. All right, so you're neutral. Okay, cool. No, okay, AJ. No, you're a Springer fan. You're a Trina and Spencer fan, right? Spike Quick says, "Yo, Nina was out of line with Michael." I admit, Spike Quick. See, this is something that we can both agree on. I love my job. I do. But yes, no, Spike Quick. I 100% agree with that. I do. This is seriously. This is one of those rare times where I 100% agree with you. See, I do remember. I do. Yeah, I do sit there and try to remember as much as I can from different my different subscribers and stuff like that. Freddie says I laugh so hard because of viewers keep calling Willow Weeping Willow as her nickname. Yeah, that name did kind of stick, didn't it? Harry says I'm kind of giving Willow a pass, but seriously needs to apologize. Yeah, it was. I'm surprised she actually did that. To be honest, that really did throw me off. Ron says Phoenix said that the actor playing Will and Sunny will be leaving. Oh, okay. I don't know why I didn't get a chance to actually watch his videos. Of course, you're a Mel. You know damn well you're one of my favorites, Mel. That's why I always love having you in the chat. So thank you for being here. Anna says I've been waiting for the Carly and Nina SmackDown since Nina busted in the Sunny's into Sunny's funeral. Yeah, yeah, she definitely should have got the breaks. She definitely should have got the brakes beaten off of her. I beat the brakes off of her. My bad. AJ says I love Trina. Yeah, I like Spencer. Yeah, I remember. I do try to remember a lot of different things about people in the chat. Tony says, "How funny was it when Chase showed up at the?" Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna lie, Tony D. When I saw Brooklyn's face, it was priceless. Even on the crap copy that I was sitting there watching on YouTube, it was priceless. Monique says I've been watching Jason since. Oh wow, you've been watching it for a hot minute, Monique. That's what's up. Mom says I hope everyone gets. No, like that's going to stop Sheila. Nothing stops Sheila at this. Nothing short of a bullet will stop Sheila. And even then, like Quake says, that's crazy how Nina passed out 3 times with Nina. Only if Wiley wouldn't scream 24/7. Shauna says, I'm so over Chase. Please, no more singing. Well, he is a good singer in real life, so I give him that much. Monique said, I have a feeling Brooklyn is going to use Cody to make Chase jealous. Okay. I can see that. I can see that. Spider Quakes, Nina, though I don't know why she blamed Michael. Yeah, I didn't get that. I really didn't get that. Jessica says, yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah, it was. No, but it's funny, yeah, and it's funny too, Spider Quick, because see, but that's what I'm saying though. Like, it's okay to be a fan of a character and still call them out on their crazy crap. You know, it doesn't mean that you don't like them, you like them less or anything, but certain things you got to be like, all right, sis, you don't went too far. Dolly says, don't sleep with Nina. She'll throw hands after seeing that Wiley. Yeah, now for a few years ago, I want to see what the mothers would do. Dolly, even a few years ago when Josh was throwing hands with now, well, that was actually the first time that she impressed me. AJ said, I've been watching Jason and Sam. Oh, wow. Okay, AJ, you've been watching it for a hot minute. I remember that episode. Damon's in the chat. Damon says, who is the most dysfunctional family on GH? That's a really good question. And I would sit there and write that in the polls, but I'm afraid I won't be able to spell it. So, yeah, who is the most dysfunctional family in Port Charles? That is the question. Um, AJ says Cody and BLQ lack chemistry. Onyx says the Castles has to be the most dysfunctional family. Hmm. Daisy Flowers in the chat. What's good, Daisy Flower? I can't believe I've actually been up since 6:30, and I didn't even have to work. I just couldn't go back to sleep for some odd reason. Rob says Carly's fans have problems criticizing the. Yeah, Rob, it's not just Carly fans. It's just people in general. It's not. It's really not just Carly fans. Um, it's just fans of the show in general. They a lot of them can't. Some people can't criticize their favors. Yeah, I remember somebody else said that too. Spy Quick says Sam needs her black leather clothes back. It was a good look for her, Spider Quick. I'm not gonna lie. Oh wow, you've been watching it for a hot minute, Daisy Flower. Jessica says, "Oh, Angelique says the cast ons. Yeah, I can agree with that." Jessica says Sam needs her own life and storylines back. She does need a good storyline. That's the problem. She does. I'm doing good, Daisy Flower. I'm doing really good. And thank you. Thank you for joining, Daisy Flower. What did you think of GH today? Davlin took away his comments. Dolly says they don't really show fights on soaps as much anymore, though. Yeah, they don't. I don't know if it's because of the stunts or anything like that, but they don't. They don't show a lot of things, though. They don't show people throwing stuff at glasses and breaking glasses and stuff anymore. They don't do a lot of that. Vision Fly said what Carly did was wrong, but it is. Yeah, I mean, no. I mean, don't get me wrong, Vision Fly. It's even what Nina was doing was wrong, but it's you know it's soapy soap stuff. Sunny says I've been watching General Hospital. Oh, 1980. I was 8 years old. Wow, you've been watching it for a hot minute. You've been watching it for a hot minute. Now, McTony is in the chat. Hope I said your name right. How you doing tonight, McTony? Or MacTony? Yeah, Jonathan, that might have actually been before my time. Or it might have been before I stopped watching it. No, it was definitely before I stopped watching it. Because I do remember that. I think I stopped watching in like 2003. I'm guessing maybe. Um, Monique says Carly never felt she's wrong about anything, and when yeah, she's still under that jest of oh, um, I'm doing it to protect people and this, that, and third, and it's always the same thing. Who says best soap fight ever was what? Janet is in the chat. What's good, Janet? I'm not too sure. It's definitely not good right now, but I think it's part of the suspense though. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, Ron, I'm not too surprised right now. I'm not too surprised by that. I'm doing good. McTony. I hope I'm saying your name right, by the way. Thank you for joining tonight. Um, what's your favorite soap, McTony? Monique says best soap fight I saw was during Phyllis and Shauna and Sharon and Nikki. Tony D says I've been watching since I was like 7 or 8 with my aunt. Janice says although also thoughts on how long Bill will. Hmm, that's a good question. That's a good question, Janet. And he's in a really dark place right now. That's the thing. He's in a really dark place. So Soap operas tend to drag things out. So at this point, your guess is as good as mine. Oh, General Hospital. Okay. All right. How long have you been watching General Hospital? I've been watching it since year 2000. So yeah, about 20 years. Actually, no, more like 23 years. Jesus Christ, I cannot believe I've been watching that show for 23 something years. Genesis, last question tonight for me. Will Brooke and in all honesty, the way they've been hugging each other, and Jen, you can ask them as many questions as you want, but the way they've been hugging each other, and it's funny too that you say that, Jen, because somebody else in the chat said the same thing. Like, no, it was Nikisha that was like, "I'm surprised they didn't kiss already." But unfortunately, because the show is international and they play in Dubai, that's not going to happen. Unfortunately, and Kyrie is clearly not a fan of that. I think it was either Jonathan or it was Dolly that recommended me watching a sword fight between Rome. No, it was either it was John Black, and it wasn't Tony, but it was the his twin, and he had a sword fight, and I thought that was really great. Yeah, Janet. I mean, you really think about it. They don't, Janet. They don't show any LGBT characters on B&B now. Yeah, they used to do it back in the day. Back in the day, they weren't international. Monique says, first up, I was enthused with GH. Wow, Monique, it's actually the exact opposite for me. I used to watch One Life to Live first, and One Life to Live got me into Port Charles, and that got me into General Hospital. Did you follow says John? Okay, David Flaw, you're more of a Joss and Dex fan compared to Sabrina, I guess that's her name. That's her name. AJ says Dex is okay, and he does have. Mm. I feel like he would AJ, just because he's giving off a lot of Jason vibes. Dolly says Taylor was definitely flirting with Brooke. Yeah, unfortunately, it just. Oh, John. Oh, it was John and Andre. Thank you. Yeah, you were the one that actually that gave me that recommendation. Oh, okay. You're right. You're right. You're right, Jonathan. But it was still good though. So thank you for recommending that. And Janice says mustache, aka Victor, will mess. Yeah, he probably will. Monique says they had one B&B right, BB right here. Yeah, no, but Monique, that was before it was international. And that was back in the day before the show became international. But like now, they won't do that though. Spider Quake, I'm not really into sports, but when I was in high school, my favorite sport was basketball. I mean, if I was to sit there and watch a sport, it would be basketball. If I had to pick one sport to watch, it would be basketball. Football, I'm still trying to learn, you know, but if I had to pick a sport, it would be basketball. And my favorite team back then, it was two: the L.A. Lakers and Chicago Bulls. What about you, Spider Quake? Now, Cat Lee says only like the younger characters. Something got better than anyone else on GH. AJ said I miss Sam and Carly as enemies. It was such, honestly, tell you the truth, AJ. I look back at those stories, particularly those ones, and if I was doing reviews back then, I would have went so hard on Carly. People would have been so angry with me. Oh, it's best. Okay, so what's your favorite then, Spider Quick? Goldie says, I definitely love when Sam had more enemies. He was way cooler with Carly and Liz these days. Yeah, that whole beef between Sam, or was it? It was Sam and Liz over Jason. Because of course it was over Jason. Jonathan says Esme is short for Esmeralda. Oh, okay. I actually like that name. Have a good night, Sonny. Thank you for joining. It was really great to see you again. And I hope when you get some more time, definitely stop by the chat. Becky D is in the chat. What's good? Hoping your family stays well, Sonny. Yes, Becky D is in the chat. Wow, I think I pretty much kind of got all my members in the chat so far. Anyone that actually has the stars is a member. So that's the song. I don't know what's going on my eyes. I don't know if I'm tired or if I just have long eyelashes. So unfortunately, I got to sit there and kind of say this again. But Saturday, I may have a surprise. I may have a special guest, and it's if everything goes through, it's going to be a really good live stream, and I'll be posting the time because it's supposed to be at 8 o'clock, unless things change. So I figure I just let, let people know. Now, Kelly says my eyelashes be falling out all the time. Well, no, the problem is my eyelashes are so long, which is very weird to say. And it starts to poke my eyes after a while, and then that just sucks. AJ said, okay. Carrie says, I can't wait for next month. Cake party, yes. You know, it's funny, Kyrie. I already have my cake planned out. I already have the cake that I want. I already have the cake that I want. It's gonna be good. Daphne says, Albert, you are so right about soap opera dragging out. Yeah, you know, it's funny, Daphne, because I don't like to be right about that. Like that's not something that I actually want to be right about. You know, but yes, Mel. You know, it's funny. I actually got to see that movie. I gotta find some time to actually see that movie though, Mel. Yeah, I do remember them Smith talking about a Meg too. It did really well. It did really well. I gotta sit there and watch it. I don't know if I'm gonna do a review because it's like everyone and their mother did a review on it, but I definitely do want to watch it. Shauna says, really, because I'm over it. Because Sheila free to do her dirt. Now, Cat Lady shows is Cake Day Friday or tomorrow Friday? I guess we're actually, it's funny too because I kind of forgot which the cake party I was doing. I guess I was doing it for Carly, so yeah. You know what? It's funny. I'll get my cake tomorrow, and then if all the smoke goes on Carly, then I'll do it that day because I know I want to plan something for Carly being outed, but I also want to plan something for Portia being outed as well. And I just said I heard about Jeff. Yeah, I heard. Well, who's Jeff Beck? Who's Jeff Beck, AJ? Now, Justin says today is Wednesday, January 11th, and on that exact date, 1995. Wow, the CW launched the CBA network launch. I mean, the WB network launch in 1995. Are you sure it was not? Are you sure it might have been 1995? Wait. What do you mean by that, Jonathan? This in 1995, the WB network launched. I thought WB was always a network. Oh, okay. Maybe you're right. Okay. Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Because sometime Smallville was on the WB and on the CW. Okay, you're right about that. AJ said, "Yeah, it was my first time seeing him in concert. Most fans were then for Johnny." Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, all right. Thank you, AJ. I was wondering who he was. Now, Cat Lady says Porsche cake may take a long time, and oh, maybe in March. Okay. All right. Well, I'll get my cake tomorrow then. Oh, and this first show with the Wayne brothers. Yo, Jonathan, you remember when they actually got canceled and even they didn't even know? Like Marlon and Sean didn't even know that their show got canceled. They just went in there. And Dolly says, nah, WB was always a studio, not a network, not a TV network. Hmm. Harry says, I'm surprised we've gone this long without a man. You know, it's funny too, because even Taylor was like, Taylor said the exact same thing. And Jenna says, Audrey or Victoria, who will Nate bed first? Hmm. I'm gonna sit there and say Victoria. No, I'm gonna say Audra. I'm gonna sit there and say Audra he beds, but Victoria is somebody he's actually going to fall in love with. And I'm not just saying that because Audra got what I like to call body karate, but yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be in that order, Janet. Now Freddie says the only thing I want to see in February weeks is Portia getting left at the altar. Hmm. You know, honestly, yeah, I hope is. I'm hoping it's gonna be good. You know, at the very least, she will be outed, so I feel like that's good enough. I don't know, Freddie. I guess I'm just not there looking at the whole Lee thing when Lee got outed when Gabby found out, and I felt like that reveal was so lackluster. Ron says so when Ridge finds out that Shirley is. It's gonna be interesting, Ron. I guess we'll find out when she comes back. And Mel says, "Oh, I got to watch Meg and February. Oh, okay, that's when. Oh, February 3rd. Okay, I gotta check out that preview. Knock at the door. I gotta check out that preview." Harry says the wedding between Portia and Kurt is supposed to be, yeah, Valentine's. Yep. Hmm. Well, I definitely will be eating that day. You know, it's really funny too because in some ways I'm kind of dreading Valentine's Day, but I also feel like I'm going to be so busy that I won't even really think about it until I'm probably at work and I see a bunch of people buying candy, and then I will think about it. Now, AJ says it's okay, Albert, because not a lot of people know who Jeff Beck was. Even a fan who was in the '80s didn't know. Oh wow, okay. He came out. He came out way before my time. Okay. All right, Kai Wen, thank you for joining. It's great seeing you in the chat. Monique says, "Was Mad Wayne Brothers need never had a final episode?" Yeah, and again, Monique, it was disrespectful that they didn't even know. They didn't even know that their show got canceled. The network didn't even bother to give them the courtesy to even let them know that. Like, how messed up is that? I mean, I know network television and executives can be just really human piles of pig feces, but wow. AG says the wedding is going to be. Yeah, Angelique. You know, I may just get another. Yeah, I may just get another cake just to get another cake for Valentine's Day. And it won't just be because of Portia. It may just be because mm, I want to sit there and say I'm going to be fine on Valentine's Day, but I guess we'll just wait and see. Johnson says Warner Brothers launched a TV network featuring shows produced by them and called the network the WB, which launched in. Oh, it's 1996. Oh, 2006. Okay. Kevo, what's good? How you been? How's the music going? Yeah, Kevo. I is that because like I mean, are you still like doing a vegan thing or something? Or I mean, yeah, I eat like yeah meat. Cause I'm sitting there trying to like I'm reading. I was like, yeah, reading it out loud is not gonna like it's gonna sound weird reading it out loud like that. But yeah, no, I still am a meat eater. Yeah. Ron says, Abby, you mean to say that Sheila won't regret? Why would she report? Ron, the whole reason why she's free is because she has that secret over Steffi. So why would she sit there and regret not putting it behind bars? Now, Blackmon says they did the same thing to Jefferson. Wow. He never got a final. The actors heard about the cancellation from television. Wow. I mean, it's here's the thing. It sucks sometimes when you don't get How you doing tonight, Shakira? It sucks when you don't get closure. Okay, I agree with that. Girlfriends didn't get closure. There's a lot of shows that didn't get closure. But not even knowing, not even having a network, um, not even having a network, have the courtesy to sit there and tell you, by the way, your show, we cancel your show, just and the third. Like, come on. Like, I feel like there's a certain level of jacked upness with that. Now, Valerie's in the chat, and Valerie says, hey, did you hear? Yeah, yeah, and in March, Valerie. I'm wondering what's going on with that writing. But yeah, and that's the thing, Valerie. Some people thought that the tribute today, the little 40-second clip, was going to be the actual um tribute. And I was telling people in the chat, I was like, no, 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 no. They're actually gonna do something um specifically for her. Monique says, Hope GH does the tribute to Sonia Good. I imagine that they will. They're gonna do a whole standalone episode for her. So they did one for Sean Donnelly, or whatever the actor's name was. And if they're gonna sit there and do a whole standalone for him, I don't see why they wouldn't. Ron says, "How about I know that's about the blackmail stuff regarding Taylor shooting Bill, but why not report Steffi too for attempted murder? Because sometimes it's much easier. Well, to be fair, Ron, I don't even know the whole story about that. I saw the clip, but I'm not too familiar with the story. And the regardless, it all comes down to blackmail and leverage. You never know when you're going to need leverage against someone. So it really makes sense to not report it. You get more out of somebody when you. I hate saying that they're saying this. You get more out of someone when you blackmail them than when you just send them to jail. Becky D says, "I hope they do a really good job." Yeah, I want to have faith in this one. I don't really have faith in Jace too much, but I want to have faith in this one. They got a lot of pressure riding on them, so I don't think they're gonna screw up. Johnson says, I remember one of the first four shows the WB had was called Must. You know, it's funny. Not a lot of people actually remember that show. Very interesting that you say that, Jonathan, because not a lot of people remember that. Not a. Let me ask you a question, Jonathan. You ever heard of a show called The LA Complex? I actually really liked that show, and I had my girl Casey Stills on it. I had my girl Casey Stills on it, and that show was very. I guess I could sit there and say the word edgy. Mel says Chloe needs to back off and quit pushing Charlie on. Well, yeah, Mel, but she does need to sit there and face a bit of reality, though, too, because she's still in denial for some odd reason. Kelly says she still has to make a story. Yeah, well, they got some time, so I think they're gonna do a good job. Yeah, Jonathan, that was a crazy show. That show. Here's the thing, Jonathan. The stuff that they said in that show, I'm surprised they got away with it even back then. I got to try to find a way to find clips on that show. Freddie says, I think Spencer went to. Okay. You know, Freddie, somebody else said that too in the chat. Somebody said that too in the chat yesterday. How you doing, Tracy Steve? Thank you for joining. I hope you had a very good, lovely day. Morning says, I could just watch Sonia. She was the only one to give Jason and Sonny the business. She wasn't. Yes. Blackma says, love the LA complex. That is why I. Yes, exactly, Blackma. See, this is why we get each other. This is why we get each other. They just say, okay. John says, I remember that show ended with one of the characters killing someone. Yeah, and you know, it's crazy, Jonathan. The stripper, she wound up leaving the show, and then they replaced the stripper with some brunette chick and dark hair. One of the actors on LA Complex was on Space Cases. Oh, I used to love that show, Jonathan. I used to love that show. But yeah, no, Jonathan, like I said, that show was kind of edgy. I'm surprised they got away with some of the stuff that they did get away with. Hell, they even actually had to blur out like shirts and hats that had like certain names on it. Shakira said, I've been busy washing and straightening my house a little. I'm glad you had a good day, Tracy. Thank you for joining. Um, what did you think of G's today, if you watched it, or General Hospital? I don't know what soap operas you watch. Do you watch like all four of them? Or what soap operas do you watch, Tracy? Becky D says Spencer told Esme. Okay, yeah. You know, it's funny, Becky D. Like I said, there's a lot of people that seem like they have that theory that he did it to fake it. Because, like you said before, he knew that he wasn't the father because he knew that they weren't, you know, knocking boots. Ron says now that Avon knows that Nicholas and um, we know Laura's gonna sit there and judge him. I mean, Nicholas said that Laura was pretty much kind of giving him the riot act before. They just did it off camera, which was actually nice because I can't sit there and stand to watch one more lecture from Laura to Nicholas. Now Johnson says the LA Complex was a Canada produced show. Yeah, exactly, Jonathan. I will admit about that. I yeah, their standards are completely different. Um, Jonathan, have you ever heard of a show called In Between? It's with the chick that did Sam and Cat, and the show was about people, anyone that reached the age of 30 died. And the reason why I'm sitting there bringing that up is because it was a Canada show, and the things that they did in that show would definitely not fly with an American show. Monique says to a man named Otto Tom Hanks. Oh, I heard about that. Good to emotional for my cup of tea. I heard about that, Monique. It's actually kind of interesting. I saw the previews on Instagram. Now it says I wonder what Victor is going to tell Cal. Yeah, that's what a lot of people have been saying in the chat now. Tracy says honestly, I watch GH when I can. I'm busy most of the time. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. Yeah, it's one of those things, Tracy, where it's like sometimes it's like it's hard to keep up with these soaps, but there's so many ways to keep up with them and know what's going on. And thank you for saying that. I really appreciate that, Tracy. I'm very blessed to sit there and have you as a subscriber. If I don't say that enough. Mel says Nikki and Vicky is not going to like. Johnson said they had people from Degrassi on that show. They did, didn't they? I actually really did like that show. But it was weird the way that they came out because they only had like 5 episodes of like a whole season. I'm like, what? You just do 5 episodes and just call it season one. I just felt like they just didn't have a lot of faith in the show. Becky D says Spencer was definitely testing Esme. I think she really does have amnesia. Oh, I am so done listening to Laura. Yeah, exactly. I can't. Every time she comes over, she's like, "Oh, you need to do that. You need to do this. You need to be a better father. You need to like, come on." Yeah, John. It was pretty crazy. It was kind of shocking, but I did like that show a lot. I used to like it so much. I used to sit there and try to watch it in the mornings before I went to work. Brooklyn is in the chat. What's good, Brooklyn? Brooklyn says Jack is a fool having Diane call the shots. Yeah, I'm not exactly. Well, I'm not exactly a fan of Jackson that they're trying to steal from Nikki. I'm not. I'm like, bro, you're doing too much. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you for saying that. Like I said, I always love seeing this in the chat. Every time I see like the orange icon with the T, it's like, that's my girl Tracy. So thank you for always being here. Since actually the show was just called Between. Oh, it was just called Between. Okay. I always get that mixed up. And every time I sit there and try to type that in, it always comes up as another show. It's a good series. They got another series I'm going to start watching at the Cobra Kai called, it's either called Assassin Nun or it's called Nun Warrior. I'm going to watch that next. I was supposed to watch some Marvel stuff, but I really want to find another reason to sit there and justify paying $14 for Netflix. So that's what I'm going to do. Becky D says, I thought Esme was 19 and Spencer was the minor. I think they're both around the same age. I thought they were both 19 to be honest. I know they're not legal drinking age. So I thought they were both 19. And one of them or both of them was like, well, in other countries or like Europe or whatever, the drinking age is a lot different. Mel says it was funny, Diane telling dangerous Jeremy that this is my town, not called. Yeah, I was like, wow, it was actually pretty laughable now. I'm not gonna lie. And the way she said it was like, are, are you serious? It was pretty laughable now. Yeah, it was pretty laughable. Becky D says writers could have changed it up to fit the new storyline. You're right. That wouldn't be the first time they wouldn't like play with the ages. And Tracy says, I know that's right, 14 for Netflix. The inflation is a mess. Yeah, it is. But it's I will sit there and say this much, Tracy. It's one of those things where it's like you only live once, you know? And granted, yeah, it's a high cost, but there's a lot of shows on Netflix that I really do like. And when I start watching a show and I get into it, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it's $14, but screw it. I love the show. So Mel says it's Mr. The Jack wants to steal from Nikki, but she was friends. Yeah. Well, I mean, Mel, he's only doing it to sit there and help out Diane. He said he's going to smooth things over with Nikki. He doesn't want to do it, but if this is a way to sit there and help out Diane and give her more credibility, the problem with that is the fact that he's stealing. Like Jeremy is not an idiot, but this is what Johnson says. Jeremy is the polar opposite of Sam. Oh, I forgot they were on the. He was on both of those shows. Okay. Monique says next time we see Danny and Jake, they will be in college. I've Yeah, they do. They do love to age their characters. Have a good night, Freddie. Thank you for joining. It was great seeing you in the chat as always. And I appreciate the suggestion. Mel says Diane was trying to get Michael involved, who is working for Victor, and he is Victor's best friend. Ron says, however, I hear that some people were saying that Esme is a minor and Nicholas. No, Ron, she's 19. So yeah, no, that's no. Yeah, no, she's 19. I mean, the thing the thing is, Nicholas slept with somebody who is his son's age. Like that's weird in itself, I guess. But I guess to be fair, Morgan was there knocking boots with Ava, and she's younger than him. Now Johnson says, I heard Tracy's coming back to GH and they're bringing back the nurse's ball. Uh, Now I know I'm going to be kind of a Debbie Downer, and I'm not judging anyone for actually liking the nurse's ball, the nurse's balls. Um, it's just to me, I guess it's nice for people who like it. It's just for me, I'm just like, I usually fast forward through like half of that stuff, so I just doesn't do anything for me personally. Yeah, no, Ron, I was like, no, 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 no. No, she's legal age. She is 19. Cat lady says hit Nikki winning her money. Told y'all don't trust Diane. So cat lady, you're on Phyllis. You're on Phyllis' side. Yeah, that's right. That's right, cat lady and AJ. I did say it. Come on now. Throughout the throughout the stream, I'm gonna sit there and say something stupid, or well, not stupid, but something that's like I should have thought it twice before I said it. Monique says, Becky D, if he does that, it's going to be hilarious. But why put him in jail? Let's torture him a little bit. Diane says, meaning Monique said Diane must have put in on. Yeah, I don't get it. Jessica says, I haven't enjoyed a nurse's boy in a long time. Yeah, I've never really enjoyed them. Yeah, it's still a thing, AJ. it's still a thing. I don't get it, but I just, you know what it is? Yeah, Shakira, I do. I just feel like it takes away from the story. I know it's supposed to be like a little fun side thing to do with it, but I feel like it just, like if it doesn't involve the main story, it doesn't do anything for me. And I just feel like it's just kind of a waste of time for me to watch it. Yeah, because trust me, AJ, I'm surprised it's still a thing. Yeah, yeah, Callie, it just doesn't work for me. Krista says, I think Sunny's going to take Donna and give it to give her to Nina. Oh, I doubt that. Valerie says, Donna who? Mel says, how do you think Summer is going to feel when Jack steals from her? Well, she's going to do her usual whining thing and try to act all like an adult, you know? She's going to sit there and whine and cry and be. I'm not going to lie, Mel, Summer can just get on my nerves at times. Johnson says she needs to bring back Doomsday Apocalypse Week. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna sit there. And think, I don't remember that being a thing. But then again, I did take like 2 years to. Actually, okay, I took more than 2 years to start watching it, but it took a while. Ron says, Albert, am I going to say is I am Nikki and Victor fans. I like Victor. Nikki said I was only excited about the nurses for the first year that Sabrina brought it. Then the ball itself. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't knock people who like it. I just AJ said it should be canceled now that Sonia Addy is no longer with us. Well, I think she might have wanted it, you know? Like I would sit there and probably look at it that way. Like the actor who played Black Panther, I think that he would want the show to continue. I mean the movie franchise to continue. Pamela's in the chat. What's good, Pamela? You know, Pamela, I feel like a lot of people in this chat actually like them. I'm whatever about it, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people in the chat actually like Joss and Dex on there. Solomon says Summer can divorce Kyle and leave the Abbott family. So, nice one, Solomon. Nice one. Well, to be fair, Pamela, Josh is getting on a lot of people's nerves. So, I don't think you're alone in that. Yeah, Jessica, a lot of people, a lot of people started asking that, like, how they're going to sit there and explain the characters, like the characters passing and stuff like that. Because let's be honest, we all know that they're not going to recast her character. So I don't think they've actually done a lot of recasting in a while, as far as like when a cat like when was the last? I gotta think. When was the last time they actually did a recast? I guess Jordan was probably the last recast. Okay, so just do more of a nice sort of send off story, Nikisha. Pamela says true, and Drew is going to stop messing with Carly. Carl really evil, but some someone says I hope Summer. Hmm. AJ says I don't know. Okay. I don't know, maybe they will come up with an epiphany. Oof, that would be kind of sad. I hope they don't do that. You know, Jonathan, I remember reading about that. I remember seeing like a preview towards that. But now Krista says Dex is a mystery to Josh. No mystery in the relationship. Cam and Josh knew too much about each other. Hmm. I think that probably that definitely helped. I mean, that definitely didn't help as far as them fizzling out. Now Monique says Josh wants to be grown until it's time to grow up. Until it's time to be grown. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Along a bunch of along with a bunch of other things. Yes. Mel says Albert, do you think Summer can get pregnant? I don't know. I've only been watching it for a year, so I don't really know much about Summer. When I came in and I started watching it, and I was watching it off and on, um, they had another character named Faith, Faith and Moses, and I was just like, what are the point of these two characters being there? So now they pretty much both shipped them both off to college. Brooklyn says now that Spencer is staying with Sonny, Dex mentioned to Josh that. Oh yes, definitely, bro. Definitely Brooklyn. Definitely. Josh said grow up real fast this summer when. Yeah, that is definitely gonna be something in the chat. A lot of people were saying in the chat as far as Josh being prey goes. Now Jessica says I don't feel Josh was ever right with Cam. They were better off as friends. Yeah, and that's the thing. Jonathan says audio problems. Does anyone else actually have audio problems? Or what me or whatever? I get that, Nikisha. Damon's in the chat. Damon says, Spencer will confront Dax again since he will be staying with Sonny. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you. Valerie, okay, thank you for letting me know. Becky D says, yep, they shipped off Faith and Moses to college. Now they don't have to write storylines for them. They'll be on standby until needed in the future. That makes more sense. But see, that's the thing, though. That's the thing I would sit there and say with Cam and um, Josh. I felt like Josh didn't really want to be with Cam until like the whole Dee Dee's in the chat. What's good, Dee Dee? Somebody said that Josh only wanted to be with Cam because Cam and Trina was having a thing. So she only wanted to sit there and be with Cam because somebody else wanted to be with Cam. Okay, Jonathan. Okay. And in case you said buffering here, is anyone actually having any buffering problems? I don't know why I'm doing this for. But I will sit there and say this though. My internet seemed like it's a lot better than it was back then. So I'm glad that they finally fixed it. Really, Didi, that's interesting. Well, it's not interesting. It's actually bad. So I'm sorry you're actually having those problems. Cat Lady says buffering now in the chat is going. Yeah, we had like 37, 39 people in the chat. AG says liked, and Monique says Gucci on my end. Now Becky D says not on my laptop, no problems. Okay. Like Dee says, I like to watch my TV and then use my phone to comment. No, no, that makes I do the exact same thing, Dee. When I'm watching somebody else's yeah, Nikisha, I think you either you or somebody else did that the last time. Like you went out and you came back in and then everything was fine. Thank you, Brooklyn. Thank you. Okay, good, Jonathan. Good, 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 good. Now Solomon says Faith and Moses might be back if Devon and Abby get married anytime soon. I could see it. The show's too cheap to have a nice set, so they get married at one of them. Yeah, money is always a thing. McTony says all good on my end. McTony, did you just change your profile picture? Because I remember that I don't remember that profile picture last time. Unless you're a different unless you're a different person. Um I still remember there was another subscriber named Sir Charles. And Sir Charles had another name as their profile name. And it was the name of an adult site. I'm not gonna say what it is, but it was a name of an adult site. And I was laughing so hard. And then literally 5 minutes later, he changed his name to Sir Charles. Yeah. Yes, Dee Dee, yes. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. And I saw that and I read that and I was like, hi. And I was like, in my head, I was like, wait, wait, are you serious? Okay, you're serious. Okay. I haven't been on that site in a very long time. Johnson says, oh, Samuel's in the chat. What's good, Samuel? Johnson says, I'm still waiting for that EJ and Xander showdown. That will be interesting. What's good, Samuel? So, Samuel, what did you think of today's episode? What did you think of your girl Nina in this episode? I'm waiting for that. I want to know what you thought of your girl Nina today. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Because I was like, wait, I was like, the name sounds kind of familiar. McTony, okay. Well, says Connie needs a sister. Oh, Connie needs a sister is Father Adams. His father of Sally's Adam, I hope. Yeah, be a half sister. Oh, okay, all right, Samuel. Well, I will sit there and say this. Next time that you're on here, um, well, I actually tell you the truth. Next time you're on here, we'll probably be talking about something different. But let's just say it was interesting. I was wondering about that, McTony. But yeah, today's episode, all in all, was good. I actually tell you the truth. All four soap operas are actually good. Now Johnson says the CW renewed All American for season 6. I'm not surprised. I mean, don't get me wrong. Um, yeah, no, I know, Sammy, I know. Um, but honestly, to tell you the truth, maybe I just, I guess maybe I look at it a little bit differently. From being a fan to just like talking about it, if that makes any sense. Like being a reviewer and just coming from it from a fan's point of view. I kind of look at the soap opera a little bit differently. Maybe I'm judging it a lot more. Now, Jonathan, here's what I was at there and say. They got another season. I think that's great. Um, And I never want to be one of those people that's like, well, I don't like that a show got renewed if my show didn't get renewed, you know. But here's the thing: I knew that they were gonna keep All American. They were gonna do All American. And I'm not, Jonathan. I'm not even gonna sit there and say why. I am not even gonna sit there and say why they gave it another season. But I think you know why they gave it another season. Now, Cat says, "Hey Al, do you like a closet full of those noodles?" No, but it's actually not a bad idea, though. I am not. It is not a bad idea. It is kind of funny though, Cat Lady, because there's times I'll wake up and I'm like, I gotta get my noodles for the stream. I gotta get my noodles for the stream. And I would go outside in a dead cold of night to sit there and get some. Yep, Jonathan, I'm glad you said. See, Jonathan, this is why I like having you in the chat. This is exactly why I like having you in the chat. Now, Samuel says, I'm not a fan of GH like that, so I guess my heart isn't in it the way my heart is in why no, I don't hate GH, but I'm not a fan. It's not my favorite. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. That's why you can come at it from more of a chill point of view. And Monique says, if Adam is Sally's baby daddy, here comes Chloe. Adam can't know he would be the worst thing for you. Yeah, she constantly spits venom. Let's just be honest, she does. On a side note, does anyone actually watch the show You on Netflix? Because that's coming back next month. And now I got to sit there and bump back my plans even further to finish watching the Marvel shows. I got to watch You. I got to watch You. Now, Becky D says Brooklyn's getting green eyes, but yeah, she really did not. Oh, that expression on her face was priceless. Catley says, "Oh wow, I would think you would have." Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. That's a really good idea. I'm probably just gonna do it for like 5 days. Just have them. Thank you. You gave me a good idea, cat lady. Yes, you is that show. I love you. Okay, that sounds actually pretty stupid, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Oh, AJGH is the only soap you watch regularly. Okay, AJD, but you wanted the soap opera star, right? Pamela says, yeah, when Ava slapped Nicholas. That was a good one. Nice one, Sammy. Nice one. I do in all reality, I do love um everyone in this chat. I do. In all seriousness. And I definitely appreciate everyone that's here. Not to get all this is us moment, but I do. Okay, AJ, you do. Okay. Have a good night, Monique. Thank you for joining. It was really great having you in the chat. Well, it's true, Didi. It is. It's one of those things like I enjoy what I do, but I never take it for granted. And oh, you watch you on Netflix also? Okay, Anna. It's a great show. It's a great show. And it's weird because it first started. Well, it was going to go to it was going to go to Lifetime, I think, and Lifetime passed up on it. Nikki said, "Well, Asma Miller finally got fired. Oh, nice. Yeah, Cat Lady. Actually, I do love that show as well. I still got to watch the last season now. Hmm. But Nikisha, another thing is like, well, what are they gonna do? Well, I was gonna sit there and say, Nikisha, what are they gonna sit there and do with the Flash moving forward? But now you got James Gunn that's just coming in there and screwing things up. So Sammy says, okay, yeah, Samuel, yo, that's what I said. When you watch the next couple episodes, let me know what you thought of it. Let me know what you thought of let me know what you thought of your girl Nina. You know, Mel, I kind of want to watch that as well. 13 Reasons Why Not, but I don't know. You know, AJ, my dad actually started watching a little bit of that show. Johnson says season one of You was on Lifetime and then moved to Netflix. You know, Jonathan, I can understand why. I can understand why they actually moved it to Netflix because even on season one, there's certain scenes that I'm just like leaving now. Have a good night. Have a good night, Samuel. Um, Thank you for stopping by. But yeah, no, I can see why they did not have it on Lifetime. Trust me. There's scenes on there that that's it's not they couldn't even put that on basic cable. Yeah, it does seem like a good show. Cat lady. I just oh I still didn't even watch the last season of This Is Us. I just finished on the prior season of A Million Little Things. I just started watching Cobra Kai, and Cobra Kai came out last year, and I just started watching it this year. Pamela says, not sure if Nina knows Willow is her daughter, but Willow don't like her at all. That's very true, but she's gonna need her bone marrow though, so it won't matter. Becky D's okay. Johnson says the thing is Lifetime is basic cable and they wow. Well, I'm gonna be honest. Johnson, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how they managed to they must have had to cut out a lot of stuff though. They must have had to cut out a lot of stuff though, Jonathan, because again, Beck D says any good shows on Prime. I can say Didi. Um, the only show that the only show I watch on Prime is The Boys, and yeah, it's The Boys. So I can attest to The Boys, but The Boys is a very you know what? No, I can just sit there and I would not sit there and recommend The Boys to anyone if they're not comfortable with gore and violence. Justin said, actually, no, Lifetime. What? Well, I guess, Johnson, to be fair, they don't actually really show any nudity on, they don't show any nudity on you. So I can, okay, I take that back and I can actually see that. And Nikisha said I was wrong. Asma isn't still isn't fired, but he's going to plead guilty, so that might fire him. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad we cleared that up because I probably would have been running around sitting there telling people, "Hey, he got fired," and he didn't. So, yeah. Does anyone actually watch Yellowstone, Mel? I mean, does anyone watch Mel Yellowstone? I don't, but yeah, yeah, Cat Lady. I love the boys. I That show is so messed up, but it's so great though. No, that's all good, Nikisha. We cleared it up. So, but yeah, no, the boys is that show. So there's another show. but it's a cartoon and it's also like super violent. I can't remember it, but it has something to do with like the son being a superhero and the dad is just like a super is just like a dick. I'm gonna watch that show too. I just can't remember what it's called though. Oh yeah, no, Johnson. Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, no, I take that back about yeah. Um I mean granted there are some scenes that even though it's not nudity and it's not super sexual. Oh, thank you, Johnson. Yes, it's called investable. Wow. Good call, Jonathan. You would honestly sit there and think that we grew up together the way I'll say something and I'll say halfway through and you just like that. Like straight up rock star status. Have a good night, AJ. Thank you for joining. And again, thank you for being a member. Thank you for joining the member. Johnson said the boy is from the creator. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. I guess I can see why I like the story then also, Jonathan. Well, good luck during your meeting, AJ. And thank you for joining. Wow. Ah, ah, beautiful girl's hair. Nah, I'm good. I mean, I'm really not good, but for the sake of whatever you're doing, I'm good. No, that's not what I. No, that's not what I. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't want to do that. Oh, I haven't seen those bots in a hot minute. Of course, AJ. Of course, it's always a blessing to have you in the chat. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Exactly, Becky D. Exactly. That is very true. That is very, very true. I've looked at some people's pictures on their profile, and I can definitely attest to that. Krista says abuse victims tend to self sabotage and self sacrifice more than. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Okay, Krista. Then maybe. Okay. Maybe that. I mean, it still felt like it was just kind of out the blue. But given more context, maybe I can understand where you're coming from as to why she just lashed out like that. Pamela says watching Jace now. Carly is telling True everything here. No good. No good. Self did. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but she's only telling the truth because she's backed into a corner, you know. And she even, well, I don't want to spoil it for you, but Salma says, "I wish Thornton will come back to B&B. The show needs more characters." Well, it definitely needs different characters. I would sit there and say that. Mel says, "Have you ever watched from on Plex or Epics?" No, no. Um, there's a lot of shows that I actually want to catch up to watching. Like there's a lot of shows on Disney that I want to catch up to and finish watching. Um, I want to finish watching Cobra Kai, and I said this in my member stream only that there's a lot of times where I'm creating so much content that I never really get a lot of time to watch any content myself. So every now and then, like on Saturdays, if I'm not too tired, I'll sit there and binge watch stuff. But I do have a list of things that I want to sit there and finish watching before I get to anything new. So I'll say that. Shakira says Pamela, Carly, and Nina might have a showdown when Nina finds out the truth. Who's Pamela? I know it's kind of a stupid question, Shakira, but I don't remember a Pamela. Krista says, why on Willow's? No, that's very true. That's very true, Kristen. I guess it really caught me off guard. Christina the Invisible. And Mel said, "I see Connor and Johnny, but never see Christina." Yeah, I seen her once. Um, and Danny kept calling her Cricket. I guess that's supposed to be the equivalent of Steve calling Kayla Sweetness. It's just one of those things that I just don't get. And Mel says, "I want to watch Ozone on Netflix." I think the last show that I watched that was really good also, besides Lost in Space, was Sabrina. Like the really dark version of Sabrina. And from what I understand, Sabrina was never supposed to be that dark. Like the whole devil thing and like when I said things that he went dark from I guess the source material, they went dark. Now just not Christina. Oh, Christian. Oh, nice. Okay, now I got it. Christian the Invisible. Okay. Becky D says Cricket was her nickname when they were younger. No, I get that. I get that. But that's what I was meant to say. Like I was comparing Cricket to like Sweetness. Curry says they're talking about Christian from Young and Right. Yes, yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. It took me. It's like I didn't read the whole thing. That's why I read Christina at first. Yeah, Pamela. Summer. I can't do Summer. I just see. To be fair, Summer and Kyle both seem really boring when they're together, but because they're attached to these prominent stories, it's what's making them interesting right now. Because ugh, I put out a video and I basically was like, "Are Kyle and Summer needed? Like they're needed now." But before this whole Diane thing really escalated with Jeremy, I didn't really feel like they were needed. Then Johnson says, "You think we will ever find out if Evan survived?" You know, Jonathan, I'm not going to lie. I totally forgot that Evan was a character until you said something. I think, here's the thing, I think he'll resurface when they need him. It's the same thing with Jan Spears. They'll resurface when they're needed. And that is the one thing that I love about B&B. I mean, about Days, is that they know how to utilize their characters. Now, Kyrie says, I never liked Summer. She's a bummer. Summer is a bummer. I like that, Kyrie. Summer's a bummer. Yeah, they're both super boring. And I feel like the only people that actually trump them right now, well, is Mariah and Tess, aka the Tarias. Not really my thing. Um, but on a positive note, I heard that they did a little fan service. I heard that one, I think her name was Kat Fairbanks or whatever. She did she came into James's Zoom or JOJ Media Zoom when he had his whole live event. So that was cool. Becky G says Summer is just too whiny. Yeah, I can't do it. Like, yeah, I 100% agree with that. Johnson says Weiner has too many boring characters. They do. They really do. Yeah, I couldn't do it, Pamela. Like, especially when she started whining about Diane, this, that, and the third. It just Solomon says Hunter King was even worse as Summer. You know, that was the thing, Solomon. A lot of people said that they like Hunter versus this new Summer, but I don't know. I guess I just kind of looked at it and was just like, if they're giving them the same material, then like, I guess the only thing that's really changing is the level of acting. But just as far as characters, not doing anything that interesting with them. Harry says Adam and Sally are pretty much the only interesting characters. The Young and the Restless needs a major cast shakeup. Hmm. Well, what other characters do you not like, Kyrie's? Very curious about that. I mean, I know Tess and Mariah. I don't care about them. Howell and some are only good. Have a good night, Valerie. Thank you for joining. It was really great seeing you again. It's actually been really great to see you again in the chat. Becky D says better writing would change how we all feel about most of these characters. That's very true. That's very true, Becky D. Because even like Tessa and Mariah, I don't have anything against them personally. They just don't give these characters anything to do. Mel says even no Evan is the one who killed. Yeah, no, I remember. I remember that. Johnson says I do like Tucker. Yeah, I like Tucker. And I think it has a lot to do with the actor that's playing Tucker and the way he uses lines and stuff, like his sarcasm and humor. They definitely make they definitely make it work. Solomon says, yes, why not get rid of Mariah, Tess, Kevin, Chloe, and give Michael, Lauren, Victor, Nikki, and some stories. I do like that list, Solomon. I do like that list of the people that you can get rid of. I 100% agree with that. Because I read that twice, I was like, yep, yep, I approve of all of it. I approve of it all. Shakira says Tucker and Audrey are not boring. No, they're not. Johnson said Trevor used to do that a lot when he played. I can imagine. You know, Jonathan, I'm not gonna lie. As much as I love Roger, I don't think that I gave Trevor a fair enough chance when he became Todd. I didn't. And now I look at it, I kind of regret that. I think for me personally, the fact that somebody else was being a character that I just wasn't used to, I just kind of just left. But yeah, I didn't give him a fair chance. Nakari says, I don't like Phyllis. I don't like Nikki. I don't like Summer. I don't like Kyle. I don't care for Jack. I don't like Elena. I don't like Nate. I hate Victor. I can't stand Chloe, and the list goes. Wow. I'm very curious of the characters that you do like. 'Cause I felt like that was like 40% of the cast right there. Exactly, Becky D. I was like, that was like 40% of the characters. I'm like, so I mean, don't get me wrong. We all like and dislike the characters that we like and dislike, so I'm not knocking you. Adam Sally, that's wow. Nice. Mel says I love Tucker. So what be his next move? Since nobody wants anything to do with him. Probably like you said, burn it all down. Yeah, I said cat lady, I was like when he actually had all the list of characters that he didn't like, I was like, that's like 40% of the characters right there. Johnson said there was some very funny scenes and we're like, what? Yo, Jonathan, that's see, I regret that. I regret that. I do. I mean, I was a different person back then, so it's kind of hard to regret the decisions and the moves that I made back then. But I just don't, again, I didn't give him a fair enough chance as Todd. Or maybe I don't know. Maybe I guess after a while it was just very hard, very difficult to sit there and watch all three of them. And I think I just kind of settled for two of them for a while. The Port Charles got canceled, and I just watched one, General Hospital. Someone says they can get rid of Elaine. I wanted to see Nate with Audra hook up. I love when I press a button and like nothing happens, and then just I swear, I'm gonna get to a point where I'm just gonna take this phone and I'm just gonna toss it, and I'm gonna have my other phone. I'm gonna record it breaking and shattering into like 1,000 pieces. Thank you for buzzing again to remind me. Um, oh yeah, no, definitely Solomon. Like I said, Solomon, when I saw Audra take off that jacket, I was like, oh, it's like that. I was like, yo, listen, I know that you're kind of a creep and kind of desperate, but that chick got body karate. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. She definitely got some body karate. She looked good. Um, well, I think I'm gonna sit there in the chat. I think I'm gonna sit there in the live stream here, just because now I'm starting to get kind of tired, and I should probably call my dad back since he just called me. Because usually, I think I told him I was going to end the stream around like 9:30, but like usual, whenever I'm on here, I always go past the time that I say I'm going to go past. And besides, I should probably get some rest so I can be somewhat productive in the morning. Kyrie says I tolerate the characters of Abby, Kevin. I guess I'm indifferent. Don't have a problem with him. Yeah, I don't really see Kevin too much. And to be honest, Kyrie's Kevin, and then I gotta sit there. It's like Leo Stark, so it's. Thank you for being here, Jonathan. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure, as always. Krista says the old and the restless. The old and the restless. I love it. Fly Quick says when eating your cake Friday. Yeah, I'm gonna get a chocolate cake. I'm gonna get a chocolate cake. So it's gonna be good. Gonna be good. So let's have our cakes, our snacks ready. Um, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you, Becky D. Thank you. Yes, I look forward to it, Becky D. I look forward to seeing everyone. Kyrie's Krista says, "Do you think YNR has a younger generation to pass the show on? Maybe if they get back Summer and Kyle, because I think not really. Yeah, there are a lot of old people on the show. Um, to be fair, even on GH, you have the teams, but it's like maybe 4 or 5 of them at most, and Esme. So that's a good question. But thank you everyone for joining. This Spikewick says, are you also gonna have cake when? Oh yeah, I'm gonna have something. I'm gonna have something. I don't know if it's gonna be cake. I may do cake, but I feel like it's gonna be cake tomorrow. Then cake. I don't know. I may try to shake it up tomorrow. I may sit there and try to shake it up. If not, then I'll just default back to cake. McTony, have a good night. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Shakira. Thank you, Kyrie's. Thank you, Mel. Thank you. Same with you. Same with you. You are definitely a special woman. Um, so thank you for joining. And just thank you for being here. Have a good night, cat lady. Krista says, I feel that YNR has not invested in the younger. I feel like a lot of them haven't. Really, when you think about it, Krista, Days have. I would sit there and say Days have. Out of all of them, I would sit there and say Days have. But a lot of them didn't know. Spy Quick says January is what November Sweeps Week should have been. You're right about that. You are 100% right about that. Have a good night, Solomon. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, Mel. Have a good night, everyone. Stay safe. And I look forward to doing this tomorrow. So 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and yeah, tomorrow should be very good. soap opera wise, hopefully. And if not, we'll just sit there and talk about it in the chat about why it's not good. But I have a feeling it's going to be good. All right. Good night, everyone. Stay safe.